everyone, and welcome to the first edition of BrainWatched. I am your host, ZehOverseer, and today I am joined by J Chippers.
Hello.
And Cubicle Wings.
Hola.
Hey, I'm supposed to say that. I'm the Mexican here.
Oh, adios.
Okay, welcome to BrainWatched, the spiritual successor and Muppet Babies-style reboot of BrainWatching, because it's smaller and cuter. Before we start, I just want to say to everybody listening, I apologize for my mic quality. I know this, if you watch any of our other podcasts, you're probably used to me sounding like this, but I feel like as the host of a podcast, I should probably sound a bit better, so I'm going to work on getting a better mic quality in the next few upcoming parts, or basically whenever I can. But for the first episode of our brand new rebranded podcast, we are going to be talking about DC Fandome. That is Fandome with an E. That is the recent digital Comic-Con style event that DC held online. It lasted from August 22nd and 23rd and continued on September 12th and 13th. Now, we're recording this on September 14th, which means the second part has already finished. But because all the biggest announcements happened during the August event, we're basically primarily going to focus on those, because that's where the biggest stuff was revealed, and quite honestly, the list of things that we need to go over is already long enough.
Was not a lot announced in the second one?
I'm pretty sure it's mostly follow-ups to the August reveals and some news about the TV shows.
Okay. But
we're gonna be focusing on the stuff that was revealed in August. And Cubicle Wings, I'm glad you could join me for this because you're a big DC fan, right?
Yeah, big. Well, I like DC, but I wouldn't
Is that
call...
sarcasm?
I'd say average sized, you know.
Oh, because you knew more about the DC universe than I did in your Titans rant.
Yeah. I guess.
And whenever
I was bigger then. I've kind of shrunken in size.
And whenever we talk about Batman, you always have nice input, so.
I am a bit of a Batman fan, more than DC.
Oh yeah, Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know Marvel has kind of taken over the cinematic side of superheroes, obviously, and that's super popular these days, but I love DC. I love Batman, I love Superman, I love Green Lantern, I love The Flash, I love all those guys.
Yeah. I like
and J Chippers.
I like both DC and Marvel, but I'm more on the Marvel side, but I love me some DC.
But I'm not a big enough DC fan to where I didn't have to look up a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about today.
Alright.
But enough stalling, let's go ahead and get started. I've got down a list of things that I want to talk about, and let's start with the video games. First, we've got the reveal of a new video game, Gotham Knights. It's a third-person action game in the style of Batman Arkham City and the Spider-Man PS4, you know, those superhero games.
Yeah.
Did anybody play the Batman Arkham games?
I did. A little bit. Yeah.
I remember
Briefly, yeah.
I remember after Arkham City, I started playing like every single one there, and then just got really excited for each one on release.
Yeah.
I remember that when Arkham Knight came out, that was a bit of a disaster for the PC run.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I remember that, yeah.
The funny part about Gotham Knights, though, is that it's actually not part of the Arkham series canon.
Really?
Nope.
Yep. Although that's a bit of a bit weird for some people, because they show in the trailer there, I believe, like Wayne Manor has blown up, which is the exact ending of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it is. I've seen the cutscenes to that game. I've never played it, but I've watched the cutscenes, and yeah, that is how that game ends. So it's surprising that it's not in the Arkham universe. But it is being developed by Warner Brothers Games Montreal, who developed Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
And Lego Legends of Chima Online, apparently.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, they also made that. But I believe Arkham Origins was the third Arkham game, and it was a prequel to Arkham City.
Yeah.
Because Joker was still
and
alive.
that was yeah, and what's funny about that one too, that didn't have any of like the voice actors from the first few games. Like it wasn't like Troy Baker, I think, was playing the Joker rather than Mark Hamill, and I think it was some other guy playing. It wasn't Kevin Conroy doing Batman.
That's weird.
Yeah, so It was supposed to be like the first few months of Batman's career there, and it was an interesting game. Actually, the north part of the map is the same map as Arkham City.
Ooh, that's neat.
That's neat.
Yeah, I remember flying through the map there. It was like, wait, I recognize that building. That's the courthouse. I can go down this street. This is the same map. It was a bit of a shocker when I realized it's all the same.
Yeah, in this game, Batman's dead.
Rip.
Yeah.
Yep. So all of his sidekicks are going to get together and finish what he started, I guess. If that means like they're going to take over his job, basically, of keeping Gotham safe.
They're continuing his legacy.
Yes,
that's the Bat family.
Is he really dead? We'll see. But he did send out a message to all his.
To be fair, Batman has died in the comics like 3 times. Yeah. So,
and to be quite honest, they're gonna advertise it as like a Batman Arkham game, and they're not gonna put Batman. Fuck no, they're putting Batman in it by the end.
Yeah,
it's like that Avengers game that came out recently. I don't know if anybody's wanted to play it or not, but spoilers. In like the first mission there or something, Captain America is killed.
Oh come on, you can't fucking.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's like, oh, well, they're gonna just not have Captain America throughout well, of course he's gonna come back by the end of the game, and yeah, he does. Like, there's no surprise there.
Rip Zay's excitement for that game.
Also, Red Hood is playable in this game. So I guess Red Hood is a good guy now?
He's kind of one of those anti-heroes, like, similar to, like, Deadpool or something.
Yeah.
He means to do good, but he does it in a very bad way.
And this is why I have you around, because I've always known Red Hood as a villain.
Yeah, I think Red Hood has always been kind of like one of those criminals that does hunt down, other criminals, but he's killing them, which is 100% against Batman's code, so...
Right. The DC universe has a lot of those, like, anti-heroes, like, tweeners. They act good, but they're doing, like, some evilish things, or they're evil, but they do some good, or like, they're evil, but they have, like, a purpose behind what they do. Well, like, that, because DC's, like, much more grittier than Marvel, you know?
And that's what I like about DC.
Yeah.
What I find funny about DC is, like, in a lot of their media, the Injustice games, like, almost... half of the villainous roster there all of a sudden become good guys, and then like half the superheroes become bad guys.
Dude, I love Harley Quinn. I love Harley Quinn in Injustice because her character's so good, like against anyone.
Before we move on from Gotham Knights, I wanted to talk about the gameplay, but really all I wanted to say was that I know it's beta footage, and I'm sure it's gonna be a fun game, but the footage that I saw, it just looks like, it looks like every other third-person action game you've seen. Like, you're in one
looks a little
room.
Bland.
Yeah, it's got all the stuff you've seen. It's got, like, the fucking, like the faces of a character appearing on the side of the screen as a voiceover tells you where to go in the middle of gameplay. It does that thing, and when I describe this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It does that thing where your character has to squeeze through a tight corridor, and the camera zooms in to right next to their shoulder as they squeeze through. They do that shot.
Oh, obviously not a loading screen.
But what really, before we move on from the game, the thing that a lot of people are talking about with this game is that it includes the Court of Owls, which I also had to look up because apparently
it's not usually not usually one of those villainous groups that appear in most media.
Yeah, but apparently everybody loves them, and I looked them up, and yeah, they sound cool. Apparently they're like basically the Illuminati of the Batman universe.
They're like the secret society, and I believe there's some lore there that Thomas and Martha Wayne were actually fighting against them, and that was also one of the reasons why they were killed off.
I didn't know that, no.
So, yeah, it's actually kind of tied into a little bit more of Batman's backstory. And what is kind of neat is that owls are the natural predator to bats.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. It's kind of clever that they use the Court of Owls.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't need to be.
Okay, maybe I am a bit of a DC fan. I don't know.
The horse knows all.
The horse knows all.
So, next up, the second video game. There's only 2 video games, so we'll get through this real quick. But the next up is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's a 4-player action game, similar to the first one, but this one looks much more of like a shooter game. It looks like...
Did they show any gameplay for it, or was it just
the trailer? It was just a trailer. No gameplay yet, but I liked the trailer. Like, it ended with Superman disintegrating a guy, and you realize, oh, that's why the title means.
Kill Superman. Yeah. You want to know what is funny, though? I read up on this. You have it in the notes there that it's developed by Rockstar, who developed Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. Yeah, what is great, though, is that this game, continuity-wise and story-wise, is in that Arkham-verse.
Yes, and not Gotham Knights. This one is in the Arkham Games universe.
That's weird.
The one where the Justice League turns evil and the Suicide Squad has to go and kill them all.
They announce a Arkham-styled game, and then they make a completely different game actually part of the story.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. Oh, this game here, that's just like the Arkham games you know and love? Yeah, no, it's not part of that storyline. This random 4-person shooter game? Yeah, that's the same story!
It's like the Zelda universe, man.
Totally different tones, too. Like, that trailer is very humor-forward.
Yeah, and if that new... not to jump a little too far ahead, but just a minor point. If that new Suicide Squad movie is very similar to that tone, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's James Gunn, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, that is the video game news. We should move on to movie news. Which there's a lot. That's going to be the most amount of news coming from this podcast. So, before we get on to the stuff that where we can actually talk most about, I've just got a few miscellaneous bits of news that aren't really enough to make a full discussion because this is pretty much all the information that was released about them. But to go through them real quick, Shazam 2 is going to be called Shazam Fury of the Gods. Cool. Aquaman 2, what?
I was saying that's a cool title.
Yeah, it's a cool title. Yeah. I haven't seen the first Shazam, but you have, John, and you said it's really good.
Yeah, it's, like, out of all the other DC movies, it definitely stands out, very similar to, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's very different, but it fits well.
Yeah, and that's what you want from a cinematic universe. You don't want all the movies to feel the same.
You want them to be a little different.
Yeah, and Aquaman 2, according to the director, will be more relevant to the world we are living in today, which could mean literally any number of things.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, that could mean...
A virus has plagued the ocean. The bottom of the sea is on fire. I mean, you could have one of those things and it'd be more relevant.
Yeah, no idea what that means, but we'll see. And, Titans. You okay, Cube? I made sure to duck under the table as soon as I said Titans.
Is this safe now?
Yeah, I stopped after episode 2 in the first season.
But, yeah, Titans
Moving
season
on!
3. Titans season 3, which I didn't even know it had a season 2, but...
Right?
Titans season 3. But Titans season 3 will be going to Gotham, and it'll introduce the characters of Barbara
Finally,
Gordon.
they're getting out of Detroit!
And it'll introduce Barbara Gordon, Scarecrow, and Red Hood. So,
woo! I wonder how they're gonna ruin them now.
You know what's funny? Titans still isn't on HBO Max. They're still trying to run it. They're still trying to keep it on the DC Universe service, which, look, why at this point? Why?
Who knows? Apparently, it has a season 3, so people are apparently watching it.
They moved Harley Quinn, and it's really good. It got really good reception. So
who knows? But that's the just miscellaneous stuff. Now let's move on to the stuff that can create a real discussion. And I've listed these on the list. We have a list of subjects to go over, and I went and made sure to list them on stuff like least to talk about to most to talk about. And to start us off with the least to talk about, Black Adam. I say the least to talk about because there's not a lot we know about this movie so far. We know it's starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That was...
Now, am I the only one who just kind of recalls maybe even years ago that Dwayne Johnson was already casted as Black Adam?
Yeah.
Yes!
I remember seeing promotional material for that like years ago, and it's like, oh, well, they're going to show something, and it looked like the exact same promotional material.
Yeah, because The Rock tweeted something out like years ago about it, like, but wasn't like confirming anything. But like,
yeah,
now it's confirmed.
Also, I was wondering for a while, like, wait, so Black Adam is basically just an evil Shazam. So, like, I assumed he would be the villain in Shazam 2. So I was confused of just like, wait, why is he getting his own movie then? But then I watched the small, I put in quotes, teaser they put out for this Black Adam movie, which was really just some still images with Dwayne's voice over it. And apparently Black Adam's backstory is that he was a slave, and then he was given the power of Shazam, and then he killed all his slave owners. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, that backstory might be a little heavy for a lighthearted kids movie like Shazam.
Yeah, well, Shazam's not even like a... It's not even like a kids movie, honestly.
Well, I mean, Shazam was more of a lighthearted movie.
Yeah,
it was more... Like, it's not a hard R movie, but it's not meant to be, yeah.
It is listed as a family movie, though, on HBO Max.
Again, I haven't seen Shazam, so maybe I shouldn't assume, but
I definitely
say
you should watch it. It's a fun
I'll have a watch party with you, so.
I'll probably watch it at some point. It's on Netflix, right? I think.
No, it's not on Netflix. It's on HBO Max. So.
I think it's on Canadian Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, then we need to get ExpressVPN. The sponsor. No.
The sponsor for today's show is Raid Shadow Legends.
And Black Adam movie will introduce the Justice Society of America, another group that I had to look up because I never heard of them, and it sounds like they're just like a smaller Justice League, basically.
They're the dollar store Justice League.
Okay, let's not be mean.
Hey, I worked at a dollar store. I can agree with that statement.
So, it sounds like he's going to be, like, working with the Justice... What was it called? Fuck. The Justice Society of America. Yeah, he's going to be working with the Justice Society of America, but they're going to come into conflict because their ideologies don't match up. So, that sounds like that's what's going to happen, but this movie's going to be directed by... And J-Ship, please correct me if I'm mispronouncing this. Jaume Colesera is his name?
Jaume Colesera, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to make sure I pronounced that right. He's the director who also directed The Shallows, that shark movie, the movie of that girl who's caught out at sea and can't get back because there's a shark surrounding her. I never watched it, but he's directing it. And it's going to be written by Adam Steichel. I knew the pronunciation.
Steichel.
Fuck. Who wrote Rampage and Scoob. So
Scoob.
We'll see. We'll see how this turns out. That's about all I have to say about Black Adam. Any thoughts, guys? Just so any thoughts on Black Adam so far, or should we move on?
Yeah, let's probably move.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, Wonder Woman, 1984. That movie that's coming out in less than a month, apparently, because they said they're sticking to that October 2nd release date.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they're still releasing movies in theaters. Like, I'd still like going to the theater, but I just went to my movie theater the other week, and it's like I think there's only 20 seats available, like in each theater.
Does it look apocalyptic?
As in like they're like spacing the seats out.
So yeah, my movie theater there, they can have it so you can reserve seating for up to 2 people side by side. So if you still want to go with somebody, you can. But any more than that, you have to be like up to 7 seats away from everybody else. They're pretty strict on it. Yeah, well, I mean, the lobby is still cram-packed with people. Like, nobody really social distances that well. Like, you're going to be at risk anyway.
Yeah, I appreciate them trying to keep it safe, but you could get a disease at the movie theater before this all happened, so... But that's what but They're sticking with the October 2nd release date.
Yeah.
But they did release a new trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. Didn't give us that much more footage, but they did reveal Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. And I just want to say that, like, personally, I love Kristen Wiig. But I'm more used to her in a comedy role, and it looks like this role is actually going to be more serious. Despite the fact that Wonder Woman seems to be carrying a much lighter tone, from what we've seen in the trailers, Kristen Wiig's character, or Cheetah, she doesn't seem to be very, like, silly and goofy at all.
Well, I mean, at the beginning there, when she's like that little, like when she's not Cheetah, she seems a little bit quirky. Like, I'm sure they'll incorporate they'll do something, but I bet you as soon as she goes into Cheetah mode, she'll be, scary.
Scary.
The one thing I'm kind of curious about is Steve being alive. Like, they kind of dropped that in the very first reveal that came out there, that Steve is alive, and it was kind of like, why are they revealing that? It feels like something that you'd want to surprise people with. But I guess he's pretty integral to the part, so it's like you can't really make a trailer without him. But with that, that's a pretty big reveal. Why reveal Cheetah? You already have Steve. I feel like they're revealing way too much about the movie. Like, I'm not going to be sitting in the theater and go, oh my god, Cheetah's in this? I'm like, yeah, I knew she was in this, okay.
I looked up Cheetah as a character on the DC website, but that was like a couple weeks ago, and I've forgotten everything, so moving on.
Moving on.
Have anything else you want to say about 1984?
Well, I'm definitely going to see it when it comes out, but...
Not the book, the Wonder Woman movie?
1984. I wonder if that movie is going to be referencing anything about that, because that's a pretty specific year.
Most likely.
2 + 2 is 5.
Anyway, yeah. So, next up, the Flash movie.
The Flashpoint one, right?
That's going... Yeah, Flashpoint. It's an adaptation of Flashpoint, that comic where Flash goes back in time and fucks up everything.
Now, did anybody see the animated version of the Flashpoint?
I did not.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So, like, that has Thomas Wayne as Batman there, and it's an alternate universe where Bruce Wayne is shot instead of the parents.
Huh.
I believe that's what happens in the comic, right?
Yeah, I think that's what happens, too, but...
Doesn't look like they're doing that.
I told you, Batman dies a few times in the comics.
Yeah, he dies before he's even Batman. But I'm curious, because you have it marked in here, Michael Keaton will be coming back as Batman?
Yeah, from the Tim Burton Batman.
That's weird.
Now, I'm wondering if they're doing a Tim Burton Batman, or if he's wanting to play the old, like, Thomas Wayne Batman.
I'm pretty sure it's Tim Burton because,
the Tim Burton universe?
Yes. Okay, here's the thing. I wanted to say this at the beginning, but I guess now is the perfect time to say it. I think it's fair to say that DC... The movie side of DC is in a weird position right now.
Right.
Like, they tried to set up a universe, but, like, they had a bunch of movie bombs, and a lot of them weren't reviewed well, and there were some that were reviewed well, so those continued, but they were still tied into the ones that didn't, and a lot of the actors have left, and they're making movies like Joker, which have nothing to do with the universe at all. So, like, they're in a weird position right now, so... This DC Fandome was basically them, like, revealing to the world their new plan, which was to give in to the age-old adage of, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing a multiverse. So, like... So, yeah, basically they walked in, they were like, what is this shit? Continuity? What, an ongoing story? Get it out of here. Get that shit out of here. We're not doing that anymore. So, and...
Not doing that.
So, I mean, I'm kind of... So, like, they're doing a multiverse. That's what they're doing. That's how they're going to keep making, like, Aquaman and Wonder Woman movies that were tied to the old universe they tried to do. But, like, those movies...
It is kind of a cool thought. Like, because, like, any of the DC movies that we could have seen could still be tied in somehow. Like, I think in the TV show versions of, like, Superwoman and, or Supergirl and Arrow... They introduced the old... he was in Superman Returns, his version of Superman.
Yeah, I remember them doing that, yeah. It was that... Oh, yeah, the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing they did.
They're crossing over, like, an old actor who played Superman, and, like, it's kind of cool concept thinking that Superman could exist in a different DC universe, and...
Yeah, so...
It's super neat.
I kind of tripped on my words, but basically what I was trying to say is a multiverse is how they're able to like keep making movies that are connected to the old cinematic universe they tried to do, but they can still do reboots like the new Batman film and Joker and stuff like that. So, like,
yeah,
I kind of like that idea. It's different from what Marvel is doing, and quite frankly, I'm one of those people who does not want DC to copy Marvel. I want DC to do its own thing.
Right.
But it does have me worried about doing a multiverse because I'm mostly thinking about the general audiences, aka the people who aren't online all the time and don't keep up with this shit. So like, I feel like that's going to be confusing for them, who is just like, wait, is this Batman the same as that other Batman? Are these two films connected, or like, what's going on? I feel like that might end up being confusing for like normal ass people just going to see a fun movie and not us nerds.
They're gonna have to get pretty clever on explaining to the audience.
Yeah, I don't want them to pull like in jokes, you know, like they expect people to like, oh, that's from the comics, or oh, that's from this thing, like that just doesn't work for a general audience.
It is nice though to drop that slightly in there, so somebody who is a fan of it can go, hey, they gave us a little nod there, like. We know what they say.
Right.
And then everybody else, like, it can just be a joke for the fans.
Right.
You know? It's like a wink between you and the director.
But also, Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be in the Flash movie. So, if we all remember, Ben Affleck quit the DC universe. But apparently he read the script to this movie and was just like, okay, I'll come back. Because apparently he liked the script.
Yeah.
And also, I guess, I did a lot of research. Apparently, like, the Justice League movie, like, came out right as he was in the middle of a divorce with his wife, and he was going through a really hard time. So, like, that demotivated him as well. So that's a big reason why he left. But now that it's been a couple years, it sounds like he's cool to play Batman again, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it also might be the fact that, you know, he's not, like, a super starring role, like through a whole... like movie, like he's just showing up in the Flash universe.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a weight taken off of him. So
I'm kind of curious how much like Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck's going to be in it. Like if they're going to be interacting with each other, which that would be freaking cool.
Oh my god, yeah.
Could you imagine? It's like, who the hell are you? I'm Batman.
What?
And then Christian Bale comes out of the corner. Why do you want to kill me?
And then Adam Wentz comes in and he's like,
start pounding, Joker.
Oh, God. So that's what's going on with the Flash movie. Just to go over the directors real quick, it's being directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed both the It movies.
I liked the first It movie. The second one felt like kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Really?
Like they kind of didn't put enough substance in it to really make it a standalone movie. Like it kind of starts off, all the losers have to go find some sort of object to kill it, and it's just like maybe a 15-minute piece of it scaring them, and then they go away.
Yeah, we talked about our thoughts on the second It movie on episode 9 of on BrainWatching, and yes.
Click the link in the description to see that.
And similar thoughts, honestly.
All right. Well, also, I didn't know this until I checked his IMDb. It's not on your guys' list, but it's on mine. He not only directed both It movies, but apparently he's also doing a live-action Attack on Titan.
Oh no. Oh no.
God damn it.
That's where you that's where you lost me.
They've done that. It was terrible.
That's where you lost me, fam.
Oh, I didn't lose you with Lego Chima online, but I lost you with that. Okay, but also it's being written by Christina Hodson, who wrote Birds of Prey and Bumblebee.
I like the Bumblebee movie. I did not like Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey is, it's okay, but like, it's not the greatest film. Yeah.
But I also can't really chalk that up to the writing. It was probably the studio got involved in that way too much.
Yeah.
I can't speak. I haven't seen them.
Again, it's on HBO Max. We'll have a watch party.
Sponsored by HBO Max.
I'm sorry if I'm constantly saying HBO Max. It's a news service, and the people that work at DC are part of it. So,
And you can sign up right
No,
now.
it's cool. You're telling people where to watch this stuff.
yeah, we're not telling people to fucking pirate.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
if you use the coupon code BridgeBrains, you can get HBO Max for.
Oh, I wish. But yeah. Let's move on to the Batman, the one that everybody's talking about.
the Batman.
Okay.
Yes, I'm surprised with all the live-action Batmans that have come out. I'm surprised it took it this long to title a movie just The Batman.
Yeah. Okay, so.
But you were saying, Cube?
Did anybody expect, or like when they heard the news that Robert Pattinson is playing Batman, did anybody like just brush it off and think that this movie's going to be terrible?
Well, he is a good actor.
I didn't like. He just does not seem like Batman to me.
Right.
Like I hear Robert Pattinson. I think Twilight. I think like I just think of that very monotone acting and like, hey, we're gonna have a vampire play a bat. Woohoo! But I can't. I am happy to say that. I'm happy to say after this trailer came out, he's my Batman. I like him. Dude. When he said I'm vengeance, I was immediate just like that he nailed it. Like that is and then that is a good Batman. What I really want is I want that scene to continue on and it be more of like the line of I'm vengeance, I am the night, I'm Batman. If they do that, I will nut in the theater.
That's unsanitary, but yeah.
And if there's one worry I had about Robert Pattinson as Batman, it's that he might be too young. But apparently, this movie is like Batman 2 years into being Batman, so he's new to it. I think it's his year 2. Yeah, so I think what they were saying is that this is like the first time that Batman's being brought into a crime scene. So like if you saw in that opening trailer, everybody's kind of looking at the camera, kind of concerned, like it's the first time they're letting him walk onto a crime scene. Yeah. And I love that because this is probably going to actually show the true, like, great detective of Batman. This is going to be a detective movie. Yeah, that's what they said. They want this to be more of a detective movie. That's what like, it's going to be a mystery movie. Like, it's apparently taking influences from Chinatown.
Huh.
Which is about, like, the water crisis. And I think that had Jack Nicholson in it.
You were going to say, like, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. I was going to say Nicolas Cage. Yeah, he's in everything. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in this one. But you know who is in this movie? The fucking Riddler! Hell yeah!
Oh, damn!
Yeah, Paul Dano is playing the Riddler.
But man, I have been waiting for a live-action Riddler for so long!
Well, I mean, you had Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but and then there's the quote-unquote Riddler from Gotham, from the Gotham series.
Actually, yeah, from Gotham, that guy wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and he's a great Riddler.
Yeah. I liked how quirky he was in that show.
Yeah.
I've been waiting my whole life to see a live-action Riddler. There, is that better?
You were born, and you were waiting for Riddler.
Yes.
You came out,
but also... Riddler! But also, apparently, we see in the trailer that Catwoman is also going to be in this movie. And,
yeah.
I also didn't know this until...
You know the Penguin's in it?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that guy in the car saying, "This guy's crazy," was the Penguin.
Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Colin Farrell.
Oh my god.
Huh.
Like, you've seen a picture of Colin Farrell. He's a good-looking guy, like, nice and buff, and, like, he's gained so much weight for this role, and, like, he's unrecognizable in this trailer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I did not know that. Yeah. I did not know that was him.
Yeah.
But...
No, it's like... I remember seeing fan art of like how Colin Farrell's penguin would look. I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's a very sophisticated penguin. And then they show him in this one. He's like bluffed out. Like he just looks like he's had a bad day, and it's funny.
So
yeah, it's great.
with Riddler, Catwoman, and Penguin, there is a part of me that's going like, is that too many villains?
Well, did you hear the rumors that it's actually going to be thought to be 6 villains?
Okay.
No, I did not hear that there were 6 villains in this movie.
So there's rumors that Carmine Falcone is going to be in this as well, which is another one. There was 2 more that was supposed to be rumored, but not casted. Oh yeah, Harvey Dent is supposed to possibly be in this, so Two-Face.
Harvey Dent.
Now, whether he's going to be Two-Face in it or not remains to be seen, but, reference to another villain for sure.
But can we trust him?
Harvey Dent, can we trust him?
I mean, besides that, who's left? Clayface?
I don't think they'll go that far.
Didn't Batman Forever have like 3 villains at once? At that time, it was like, well, that's a lot of villains for like one movie. But this one has 6?
There's also rumors that the Court of Owls is also going to be part of this movie.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, another thing too, I put an image in the chat there. You can pull it up on the video. This riddle that was in the trailer there. On the left there, it says, what does a liar do when he's dead? So that little script down at the bottom there, people on the internet have looked up and figured out how to solve it. Put it simply, you're looking for repeating patterns, like the 2 symbols at the end. There's like one on that same symbol repeats on the third. Anyway, the bright people of the internet looked it up, and the answer to this riddle is, so what does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still.
Oh.
And it kind of it's a nice play on words, like.
Yeah.
Also putting the Riddler into a light of maybe he's trying to kill the corrupt, the corrupt system in Gotham. Like, there's thoughts that first victim in there is the mayor.
Huh.
Which is why the FBI is there, because, the FBI doesn't just come out for any random murder.
Right.
So, and also there's that scene in the funeral where the car crashes into it. If you look at the car, on there it says DOA, which it would be dead on arrival.
Huh.
But there's also theories that it's also a play on words that it's the DA, which could be reference to Harvey Dent, which might be the Riddler's next victim that he wants to get.
Ah, I see. Sorry, I was listening. It was funny. I just thought, like, the Riddler's trying so hard to, like, give Batman all these clues and throw riddles around to try and throw him off, when Batman he just Googles the answers.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Like, what if he just pulled out his phone?
Does this mean anything to you? He just pulls out his phone.
And he figures it out. I'm the greatest detective.
I'm the greatest detective. Well, what do you expect him to do? What does a liar do when he's dead? Oh, that's a tough one.
He gobbles up.
He gobbles up.
I just constantly think of the College Humor Batman.
Yeah. Is it a helicopter? If I aim to be shot, we'll riddle you. Oh, that's a tough one. But there's also, like, the front of that card there on the image, it actually had a picture of an owl on it.
Huh.
Could be an Easter egg to the Court of Owls, but there's also rumors, like, if you notice the last line in the trailer there, Riddler's, like, possibly talking to Batman in that scene where it's like, you're a part of this too. How am I a part of this? You'll see.
Huh.
And that could be another reference to the Court of Owls, how the Wayne family was trying to take on the Court of Owls there to bring them down, why they were killed. So the Riddler might actually be trying to take down the Court of Owls and is also trying to lead Batman on to help him out with that in a really messed up way by killing political figures.
Huh.
Wow, people of the internet really look into this, deep into these trailers.
What I love too is there's also a thought, because this is being there are other influences on. There are Martin Scorsese films, and one of them is Seven, which I don't know if you ever saw that. It's about the killer who has all these victims there, and it's supposed to be a symbol of all the 7 deadly sins. And by the end of it, the detective ends up technically being one of the other victims, as well as the killer himself. And the The detective ends up being the representation of jealousy, I think. I forget what, but there's a thought that maybe this movie's going to eventually try to push Batman to break his rule of killing by the end of it.
Oh.
And that's the Riddler's intention here, is to corrupt Batman. I love how deep this trailer goes, just by just a couple riddles and a lot of people on the internet.
Who knew that it would take Riddler to break Batman, but not the Joker?
I think they've tried the Joker way too many times. It's time to let the clown step down.
Well, I'm saying that Joker was never able to break Batman like that, but Riddler is?
Yeah. I'm definitely excited for this movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good because I'm fairly confident it'll be good because to go over the director, it's Matt Reeves, who directed Cloverfield and Dawn/War of the Planet of the Apes, which I didn't know he only directed the second two Planet of the Apes, but the Planet of the Apes trilogy is a really fucking good trilogy. All of those movies are great.
Yeah. Oh, and Andy Serkis is in this movie.
Huh.
He's playing Alfred.
Oh yeah, isn't he Alfred?
Oh, Alfred. Dang.
Yeah. Yep, he's playing Alfred. You can actually hear him in the trailer there. He's like, why is he trying to contact you or whatnot?
Dang.
Oh, I'd love it if they motion captured him to look like an older man.
And, but yeah, that's the Batman, so we only have two more topics, one of which is The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad 2, but this is The Suicide Squad. I guess it's not a sequel.
Like The Batman. Man, DC really likes the word "the."
Yeah. Yeah, and in a couple of years we'll get The Justice League.
Yeah, well, technically we're getting the Snyder Cut.
Well, that's next. Well, let's talk about Suicide Squad and how it has Polka Dot Man. That's literally the only thing I had written in the notes.
That's all you had written in the notes?
That's the only note you have.
This has the Polka Dot Man. All right, let's move on.
Because that's like the most interesting thing, let's be real. I'm sure James Gunn has some way to make it work, but how the fuck do you bring Polka Dot Man into live action?
He'll probably be a lot like the guy in the first Suicide Squad movie where he's introduced and then they'll just blow him up.
And then immediately dies?
Yeah.
This is Slipknot, he can climb things.
Wow. Good for him.
Alright.
Yeah. This is Slipknot. He can climb things. Proceeds to climb things? Well, let's kill him. Well, that's unfortunate.
So yeah, that's Suicide Squad.
Do we have anything we do? Yeah, let's just move on. I don't think there wasn't really all that much shown about it. There was a promotional reel, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has a giant rat, it's got King Shark, it's got a bunch of other characters who I've never heard of, but mainly it's got Polka Dot Man. That's like the big selling point right now.
Yeah, they just got to put Polka Dot Man on the front cover. Everybody will go.
Mm-hmm. In fact, fuck the Suicide Squad. Just call it the Polka Dot Man.
The Polka Dot Man.
Just do what they did with Birds of Prey. Just call it like Suicide Squad and the Ballad of Polka Dot Man.
But okay, moving on to the last topic, and the topic that I actually have been wanting to talk about for a very long time. The Snyder Cut is real. It was announced.
It's real, people.
Yeah, I didn't think it existed. I mean, technically it didn't. All the footage was there. There was just no effects added, and that's what they're doing now. And it's going to be put on HBO Max as a 4 1-hour parts. So basically like a miniseries. Yeah. And then later...
Well, actually, they... it's not that they had the footage filmed. They actually had to bring the cast back and do a bunch more.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure, because Ben Affleck was brought back for it for a little bit. They had to redo things, because they are not using a single frame of Joss Whedon's cut.
Yes, I did hear about that. Zack Snyder hasn't even seen the version that released in theaters.
Yeah, so he's only using his own stuff, and he was given a budget of the $20 to $30 million to actually come back and refilm some scenes.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, I imagine that 20 to 30 million would just be put towards special effects, since all the footage is already shot.
Right.
But I didn't know they brought back the actors. I probably would have... I swear, I did a lot of research for this movie, and I swear that would have come up.
Yeah, the guy who played Cyborg there, he was talking about coming back there and redoing some stuff.
because I have it in my notes, it uses all the principal photography, which in movie terms is all the footage.
Yeah, well, it uses the stuff that Zack Snyder shot, but he did not finish filming it. He actually had to redo, like, he didn't have 4 hours worth of movie shot.
Huh.
He did have to come back and redo some stuff.
Well,
and, I think, honestly, being able to do a cut like this on a movie that's already been released, it's kind of a blessing for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they can look at the reviews of the first Justice League, see what people didn't like, and then just correct it. Case in point, they redid Steppenwolf.
Yeah, he does look better, doesn't he?
He looks way better. Like,
dude, that Hallelujah trailer is so fucking good. I watched it like
I can't
8 times.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw Watchmen.
I did not.
But that song has kind of been scarred into my head as something kind of different. And it just puts me on a weird it puts me on weird emotions. Cuz I don't know if you didn't see Watchmen, that song was used for a very weird sex scene.
Oh.
It's like,
oh, you see, I haven't seen Watchmen in years. I haven't seen it since I was like 13.
Hallelujah. It's like, and then I'm watching this thing. It's like, I'm getting weird vibes right now. I know this is supposed to be epic, but I'm cringing. If I were to able to block out that part of my mind, I'd say it's a very cool trailer. But in my mind, it's still weird to watch.
Oh. Well, before I give my thoughts, because I have some big thoughts about this, J-Chip, did you want to add anything about the Snyder Cut?
I think that the DC community is still gonna be fucking disappointed because they don't know what they want, but I think it's gonna be good.
I mean, I was actually going to start my rant by saying, you did it, angry fanboys on the internet. For once in your lives, you actually did something good.
I mean...
Okay, twice. Once with the Star Wars Battlefront loot boxes, and now with this. So, you got 2, alright? That's... You're
still on a downward slope, though.
Yeah, exactly. But you actually did some good with this, and I am so happy that not only is this movie real, but it's being released, because I'm not speaking as a DC fan, I'm not speaking as a Zack Snyder fan, I'm speaking here as a fan of film and art, because the reason I care so much about this, and why this is such good news, is because if this were just if Zack Snyder left the original Justice League movie, and Joss Whedon took over, if he had left just for like some reason, it was less like he didn't want to work on it anymore or whatever, or he wanted to, or was busy with some other movie and he left, then I probably wouldn't care as much. But no, the reason Zack Snyder left the original Justice League movie was because his daughter committed, and his family was just going through so much grief that he couldn't work on the movie anymore, so he had to leave. So the fact that he lost his daughter, which was obviously a tragedy, and then the movie that he was working on ended up being changed so much before release that it wasn't even the same movie anymore. So giving him the chance to actually go back and finish what he started, something that he was not able to do because of a real life tragedy that took place in his life. If you care about like the people behind films, if you care about them, then you should be very happy that this is being made, because this does not happen a lot of the time, and it is so good that Zack Snyder actually gets this chance.
Right.
Yeah. Like, that's a great point, because it's tough. Like, life does kind of just throw curveballs like that, and, it's not really his fault that it happened there, but yeah, I imagine it'd be really tough for a director who's passionate, because he is a very passionate director, and he loved working on DC movies.
Right.
And to be able to do the Justice League, which is pretty big, and something like that happen, that's terrible for his family. But I can imagine, too, like, that kind of is rough to see your dream of directing DC also kind of go somewhere in a different direction. So the fact they let him come back and do a redo on the Justice League, great call.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it brings in a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think there's also rumors if this does do well, they're going to just completely retcon the last Justice League movie and make this one canon. The only thing that is weird, though, is that they released the trailer in the IMAX ratio format of 1:3.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have it in IMAX format and it's not even going to be going to an IMAX theater. Why?
I'm sure it'll look fine on a 4K TV.
Like, I get, because if you saw the fandom thing, Zach was explaining why he wanted to do it in IMAX, and it's more, it gives the frame verticality. So you can see, there's just a way, they can have, in that first shot where they show, Darkseid.
Yeah, Darkseid.
Like, him standing over there. Like, in a regular, 16:9 frame, he would look he wouldn't look that as intimidating, but they managed to get, I think it was almost down to, his knees and then above his head farther, looking like he's a towering menace. So, it was not really the more fact that he wants to make an IMAX-looking video for IMAX. He's doing it because he wants the stylistic look of vertical frame.
Right.
But those are pretty much all my thoughts. I'm so happy this exists. I'm really happy for Zack Snyder to be able to get a second chance at this, and I'm for once, the internet did something good.
Hey, we fixed Sonic.
That's all the news we have for today. That was DC Fandome, and that was the first episode of BrainWatched. Thank you all for watching. I'm really excited to keep doing this podcast. I have missed it so much, and I hope you will all accept me as the new host. Hope I did a good job with this first episode, and if not, please tell me how I can improve or anything if you want. So, hope you all enjoyed. Any last thoughts from you guys?
DC is a cool thing, and you should fucking stop fighting between which is better.
Yeah.
Batman!
Well, bye everybody. Thanks for watching. Later.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
Adios!
Anchovies away, penguin! Listen, man, only at Zellers are you protected by...
The law of Toyland. Nobody beats Zeller's prices on toys. Nobody.
Well said, Robin.